Hi guys, can you all hear me and can you all see the video as well as the screen? All three okay? Audio, video, and the screen. All three okay? A quick confirmation. Audio, video, and the screen. All three okay? Others? Yeah, clear, right? Okay, fine. So a very good evening. So guys, today we'll be discussing unit number 3. I just went through here the poll which the coordinator sent. So many of you have not attempted the paper. Okay, fine. So we'll start. So guys, it's gonna be today. You all know we'll be discussing unit number 3, past paper discussion. So how many of you did unit number 3, past papers, Karad? So yesterday the coordinator shared the questions also, right? So I hope you all did, Karad. Yeah. Okay. Good. Fine. So if you have not done, it's okay. Try to do with me. Fine. So guys, unit number 3. We'll have a small outlook on this unit a bit. Okay. So unit number 3. What's the chapter name? Unit 3. What's the chapter name? What's the chapter name? So we are done with unit number 1, which is the background of business. Unit 2 is done business environment, CSR, ethics, and all those stuff. Very good. Unit number 3 is government intervention. Government intervention. Okay. So I sent you a plan last week. Before joining today's session, I asked you all to recap what we learned in the last class. For example, to recap a bit on unit number 2. Did you all do that? Because if not, you will start to forget. Eka karada? Nadda. Today before joining unit 3 discussion, okay, you have to have a small recap on unit number 2. Okay, so next week what you do is before joining unit number 4's discussion, have a small recap on unit number 3 a bit. So once we are done with unit number 3 today, tomorrow and day after, just you do some recap. Okay, do some self studies. Okay, then next week before joining for unit number 4, do a small recap, a revision on unit number 3 a bit, because every week you have to keep on revising. If not, you'll forget. Okay, fine. So unit number 3, government intervention. So guys, in this chapter, we'll be talking about, there are around 6 subtopics, but here we'll be talking about two main parties. Who are the two main parties we'll be discussing in this chapter? Okay, maybe it's an organization, a group of individuals. So we'll be discussing about two groups here. Yeah. One is about the government. Okay, one is about the government. What about the other one? Obviously about government, their goals, their objectives, the way they are intervening, okay, how they are helping the business, interest rates, monetary, fiscal. One part is government, the other part business. Not business. No, it's not about business. We won't be discussing about business. Very good, Ibatul. It's about the consumers. Okay, consumer protection, consumer education, SLSI, Consumer Affairs Authority. So the second topic, the second stakeholder would be consumer. These are the two topics where I will be discussing in this chapter. But based on teacher's guide, if you go, if you see the subtopics, the first one, you will be studying about the intervening methods. So how the government intervenes in a business. Okay, the first one is about intervening methods. Second one, you'll be discussing government goals like full employment, okay, economic stability, economic growth, so government goals, so aims. And third one, you'll be studying about one policy, which is fiscal policy. So, Canada, in fiscal policy, what are the two topics we discuss? In fiscal policy, what are the two main topics we discussed? Very good. Okay, we discussed the government's income and government's expenses. Good. Okay. Then fourthly, you'll be studying about monetary policy. So what's the objective of monetary policy? The main objective of monetary policy is to control the what? Inflation, or control the money supply of a country. Okay. Then fifth one, you'll be studying about consumer protection. Like consumers' right, their responsibility, the education, the importance, and all those stuff. Finally, the sixth subtopic would be institutes. Okay, institutes for consumer protection, like SLSI, Consumer Affairs Authority, their goals, their objectives, their functions, those ones. So these are the six subtopics which you had to go through this chapter. Okay, fine. So you can see here the first four. Okay, the first four is about government. The last two talks about the consumer. And if you see the weightage of this chapter, in part one, they can ask for around 4 marks. And in part 2, they can ask for another 4 marks. In total, it can cost you around 8 marks in your final exam. Okay, it can cost you how much? 8 marks in your final exam. So this is the small layout of this chapter. Is that clear? Government intervention. Yeah, in part two. Sorry, I forgot the main thing. So in part two, if you take, so in your part two paper, usually in question number two only, they'll test from Roman number one to Roman number three. Mostly. I'm not always, mostly from Roman number one to Roman number three. This is where they will test. Okay. Fine. So quickly copy down this a bit. If you have the past paper book, maybe on the first page you can copy down. Or else if you're maintaining, I have said you all to maintain a separate sheet of paper or maybe a CR book. So in that, please take a note of this chapter layout. Done. And this, yeah, past papers available. Huh? It's available. I think it's in the stock. Physical, there were around 10 remaining. Online also, there were around 8 or 9. Okay, so yeah, you can order. Fine. Others done, eh? Okay, all good. Fine. I'll keep this aside. Now we'll start the discussion. So 2016 paper. So in first page we don't have. Okay, then the other set of questions, Balamu. Okay, here we have got a question. Question number 10. Yeah, model paper is available. I last week only restocked it. Which of the following can be considered as a trade malpractice? So guys, trade kya ne? So what do we do in trade? Usually we do two main things in a trade. The two main things we do in a trade is buy and sell. So they are saying in buying and selling businesses, what are the malpractices? Malpractices kya hai? Illegal activities. So what are the illegal actions or activities a business can do? So what's the answer here? So it's gonna be obviously elimination method where you have to read each and every option and eliminate the wrong answers first. First one, non-payment of employee salaries on due date. Is it a trade malpractice? What do you say? Yes or no? My question, is it a malpractice? Is it an illegal activity? Think. Is it an illegal activity? It's something which is unethical. This it's unethical, right? Not paying the salaries on due date, guys. You're violating the labor law. But trade means what? It is connected to buying and selling. So employees working in a company, in a factory or whatever, it's not a buying and selling. It's trade activity. So first one is malpractice, but it's not a trade malpractice. Second one, not keeping business place cleanly, that is also an illegal, unethical activity. We can take that, but it's not connected to trade. Remove an employee from the job. Why you are removing? There should be a reason. So here the question, the word itself not clear, so we can't take the third one. Next, selling goods higher than the mark price. Is it an illegal activity? Yes. Is it connected to buying and selling? Is it connected to buying and selling? Very good. So it's obviously connected to buying and selling. So fourth one is about trade malpractice. Another hint you can see is trade malpractice means here the malpractice which is done by the business towards whom? Towards which stakeholder they are doing a malpractice here. This is a malpractice means something like an illegal act, a bad activity which is done by the business towards whom? Very good, towards the customer. Towards the customer. So you can see here in the first one, so third one, you can see it's connected to employees. So it's not trade malpractice. Now you can argue. So what about fifth one? Not maintaining sound relationship with customers. It's not mandatory for every business to have a good relationship with the customer. Selling a quality product at a proper price is enough. Okay, maintaining sound relation, good relation is up to the business. Some business can follow, some business don't follow. So it's not a malpractice. So we can't take that as a malpractice. So obviously fourth one is the answer. Okay, fourth one is the answer. Fine. So guys, if I have skipped any question from this paper of unit 3, just let me know. Okay. Uh, Fill in the blanks. The cent easy one. The Central Bank of ninth one. Okay. Sorry, this question itself I missed. Which of the following can be considered as a government tax revenue? So if you take government earns two types of revenue. So what are two types of revenue a government earns? If you take the revenue of the government, what are the two types of revenue a government earns? Very good. They earn tax revenue and non-tax revenue. Okay, if you take tax revenue, again, we can divide the tax revenue into two. What are the two types of tax revenue government earns? Two types of tax revenue. Very good. We have direct tax, and the other one we have is the indirect tax. Okay, if you take non-tax, there is no categories like that. Yeah, maybe you can go with a category. We'll see anyone who is saying the correct answer. Even for non-tax also, we can go with two category, but it's not that much test that, but you can go. What are those? Anyone? We say, very good, Leah. We say current and capital. Current means recurring non-tax revenue. For example, think about rental income of government. Think about lotteries of government. Capital means one-time revenue. For example, selling an asset, selling assets. Okay, so those are non-tax revenue. So which has the largest portion, largest chunk of government's revenue? Tax or non-tax? Which portion shares the largest chunk? Yeah, obviously the tax revenue. So this is the largest portion of the revenue, largest percentage. Okay, fine. So here the question here is, which of the following can be considered as a tax revenue? So they're asking an example for a tax revenue. Driving license? No, that's not a tax revenue. It's a non-tax. Railway charges? Again, that is also non-tax. Rates? Rates, is it a tax? Rates, is that a tax? Yes. Ne? Okay, can anyone say me another word for rates? For rates, we can say another word also. Anyone? Rate is a tax. Yes. What's the other word we say for rates? Rates means where they evaluate the value of your property and the government will charge you a tax based on the value of the property. Not TAPIT, not rate. ඒකට අපි කියනවා assessment tax කියලා. Okay, for that we say assessment tax, which is connected by the what? Municipal council. They will only collect this tax. Okay, the local authority. Postal charges again non-tax. Bank charges obviously non-tax. So answer is the third one. Okay, so there's a small alphabet, the letter order, bulletin order. So answer is the third one. The third one. Okay. So is that clear? Rates clear enough? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. Fine. Next, fill in the blanks. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka issues blank to obtain short-term loans. So, can I know what do they issue to obtain short-term loans? If government needs money, okay, for a short-term purpose, they usually go with treasury bills. Ne? Don't write just T bills in your exam. Write the full form of treasury bills. And but here you can write the short form when typing. That's fine. To obtain medium and long-term loans, easy one, treasury bonds. Okay, treasury bonds. Treasury bonds. Short-term treasury bill, long-term treasury bond. So usually in business study, short-term means less than 1 year, long-term means more than 1 year. Okay, fine. Any other questions? Fine. Various supportive services. Question number 41. Supportive services are required for a business from its inception to end. Inception kiyanne from start to end. Name 4 levels of administrative structures of government which provide those services in Sri Lanka. But this question is very difficult because in your syllabus they have given only 3 structures of government. Can I know the 3 levels of government? What are 3 levels of government? Very good, Daruchana. One level of government we see the central government, which covers the complete country. Okay, after central government, so how many central governments are there in Sri Lanka? How many central governments are there in Sri Lanka? There is only one central government. Okay, three the one. Next one, provincial council. How many provinces? 24, 25. 24 or 25. There is only 9 provincial councils. Next one. Very good. Next one is local authority. Local authority. So this is what we learned in our class. This is what in your teacher's guide also. But for the fourth one, we had to write something because they're asking for. So for the fourth administrative structure, for what we can write here. What's your guess? What we can write? Good. Maybe you can write the categories which falls under local authority. Maybe you can say municipal council, municipal council, urban council, or else you can write Pradesha Sabhas. It's better if you write all three. Pradesha Sabhas. So that's how they are going with the answer scheme. So better if you follow. But these are only 3 which is mentioned in your teacher's syllabus. But since it's a past paper question, we have to obviously write something, right? So for the fourth one, maybe you can write the subcategories of that. Okay? Right. Next question. Question number 44. State four methods that are used by Sri Lanka Standards Institute, SLSI, an important topic for implementing standards. So before that, say me, implementing standards, is it a function of SLSI or is it a goal of SLSI? Implementing standards. Is it a function or is it a goal? Well, can you hear? Can you hear now? Yeah? Yes? Yeah. Okay. All good. Fine. Sorry, there's a small disconnection. Fine. So now listen. So I didn't get the answer yet. Is it a goal or objective? Or sorry, a goal or function of SLSI? Implementing standards. Goal or function? What do you all say? Before implementing, you have a small another point which they say formulating. Formulating means making standards. Implementing means whatever you have made, you are going to put in action. So is it a goal or a function? Okay, so that's a function, right? So it goes with the function of SLSI. Right. So if you take implementing, that's the most important function. There are five ways they can implement standards. Standards means how we have to produce a good or a service. So quickly say me, what are the four ways we can implement standard? But there are five. Okay, say me just four ways. First one is you can say voluntarily. Okay, voluntarily. Yeah, another one we can take is SLS certification. Good, good. Next one is you can say pre-export navigation or investigation. Pre-export investigation. So that means they are imposing rules and regulations on how to manufacture this product. Okay, another one we can take is import investigation. And what's the last one? There's another one also. The last one, anyone? Very good, Ibadul. We can say seafood examination, Kela. Okay, examining the seafood. So these are the five ways where we can implement the standards. Okay, voluntarily SLS certification, export, import navigation, and sea export examination. Okay, so those are the five ways we can implement standards. Okay, done, done. Yeah, good. Now part two. So in part two, okay, first question. Government imposes variety of taxes. Briefly explain, underline briefly explain the effect of imposing taxes on businesses. So guys, are they, so let's see how many marks they're asking for. They're asking for 2 marks here. So I'm asking a question. So guys, in this question, are you going to explain the positive impacts or negative impacts? Assessment rate is charged for the value of your property, like immovable property, like your house, your land. So they'll calculate the annual value. Annually, they'll calculate the value of your property, and from that, you have to pay a small percentage for the municipal council. Okay, we have to go with both, right? Okay, so if a government is imposing taxes on business, what is the impact a business can get? So mostly effect means, guys, it can be either be positives or it can be even negative. So how many points you have to write here? What's your guess? How many effects you have to write here? How many effects you have to write here? Yeah, careful. No, I have said you all. Since they are silent, okay? Since they are silent, hello. Okay, since they are silent, what you have to do is what you have to do is you multiply the marks by 2. So 2 marks, you multiply by 2. So it's gonna be 4 points. Okay, you have to write 4 points in this answer. Okay, fine. So wait a minute. Okay, now I'm trying to remove this part. Okay, fine. So wait, we'll go for the skip. Fine. Uh, we'll see. Decrease in demand due to the price of goods and services. So guys, you may ask, sir, they have asked to briefly explain it. So isn't it important to write in paragraph? No. Okay, so it's better if you go with point form. So you no need to write one word answer. You no need to write a big paragraph. You have to go with a small sentence. Okay, because the question is briefly explained. So when taxes are imposed, obviously the price of goods and services increases. Okay, when price increases, people won't purchase the product. Demand will drop. Not only that, when taxes are imposed, obviously as a business, when you want to purchase input, just think about petrol. Okay, when they charge the taxes or anything on petrol, if you are a business who is relying on fuel, if you purchase fuel, obviously the cost is high. So what you will do? Obviously, you'll increase the price of the goods and services. Okay, so obviously your production cost will start to increase when the input prices start to increase. Okay, fine. Next one, decrease in profits due to drop in sales income. Yes, when taxes are increased, people won't buy. When people don't buy, you won't earn a sales. If you don't earn a sales, obviously your profit will start to decrease. Decrease in reinvestment means what? Reinvestment kya whatever the profits you earn, you are planning to invest next year. So this time they have increased the tax. So from profit only you have to pay taxes. So if the taxes are increased from the profit, you have to pay a large chunk for the tax. So the amount you're going to invest next year would obviously decrease. But these are negatives. These are the positives they have mentioned. So we've seen one positive is protection of certain industry. Okay, that means what? So say me, what type of industry will be? Yeah. Okay. Go, welcome. Okay, go. Give us. Okay. So usually what type of taxes will protect the certain industry? What type of industry? What do I say? Very good. Usually local industries. Next. Usually local industries. Okay, when taxes are imposed, local industries will be safe. So careful, what type of taxes? Usually import taxes. When they charge taxes on imports, imports will be stopped. So local industry will start to blow. Another thing, you can increase the infrastructure. Government is charging taxes from the businesses so they can develop the country. Okay, so obviously it's a benefit for a business, but this is highly impractical because that is not connected to each and every business. But anyways, these two are positives. Okay, but these ones are negatives. Okay. No, Mila, you have to write a mixture of both. Briefly question, is it better to write in point form? Yes, it's better to write in point form. Okay, fine. Next question. What's the question missing? Okay, explain two objectives of imposing credit restrictions by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka in implementing the monetary policy. So monetary policy, there are many instruments. One instrument is credit restrictions. So there are two types of credit restrictions. Can anyone say me? What are two types of credit restrictions? Very good, Vaishali. Okay. One is we say qualitative restriction. The other one is the quantitative restriction. By numbers you can control or by through words you can control. What are you going to control? By imposing credit restrictions, yes, we are going to control something. What are we going to control? The money supply. Okay. Now see, here they are asking you what are the objectives of credit restrictions. But think critically, credit restriction is an instrument of monetary policy. So for the objectives of credit restrictions, you can simply write the objectives of monetary policy as well. Because through credit restrictions, okay, we are going to achieve the objectives of monetary policy. Okay? So here, careful, it's again a 2 mark question and explain. They have given two objectives. So here also, we can understand for one objective, they're going to allocate only 1 mark. So you need to write a big paragraph, a long and a lengthy sentence is enough. Okay. So we'll see this scheme. So yeah, okay. So as I said, the most important objective is to control the money supply or to control the inflation and to encourage or discourage, okay, to encourage investment in selected sectors, okay, and also to control the banking activities. This is an important one. Okay, to encourage investment in selected sectors. Can I know what type of restriction is this? Qualitative or quantitative? You are saying for which sector we had to give loan, for which sector we should not give loan. What type of restriction is that? Good, Rishra. That's a qualitative restriction. Eh? Yes. When credit restrictions are there, the sectors which needs money will obviously get money because credit restrictions are imposed. Okay, sector which is not needed money for where you had to not give money, so ACA will be discouraged. So say me, what are the sectors which needs money, a loan to run the country for development? Okay, good. Okay, we can take agriculture, fishery, simply local production. We need to provide money for them. So they'll be encouraged when there's a proper way of providing loan. Okay, so that's one main advantage we can write. So this is something unique for credit restrictions only. But the other one, if you take, those are applicable for all the monetary policy instruments. So here you have to write two objectives. That's way enough. Fine. So is that clear, guys? 2016. Clear enough? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Fine. Question 5. 2017 paper. Next year paper. 2017 paper. So again, a case study. Don't read the case study. Read the main question. As per this incident, the number of consumer rights that have been violated. Okay. So they're asking you what are the consumer rights that are violated. So before that, a small recap. So if you take consumer rights is categorized into two topics based on the individual organization who have mentioned it. So the organization first one is Consumer International. So based on Consumer International, what are the consumer rights we have? So we can go with the acronym of HERP. So it stands for right to Consumer International. Yeah, healthy environment. Okay, healthy environment. Next, E stands for consumer education. R stands for redress. B stands for basic needs. Good. Then the other one we have is the uh John F. Kennedy's. Okay, John F. Kennedy's. Fine. So based on his assumptions, he says consumer rights we can categorize as Higgs. So it stands for right to be heard. I stands for right to be informed. C stands for right to choose. And S stands for right to safety. Okay, fine. Now, with that understanding, we'll jump into the question here. Fine. So when a customer asks for a kind of canned food, so when he's asking for a specific brand name from a businessman by a specific brand name, he gave a canned food of a different brand name. So can I know what's the consumer right violated here? You are asking one brand, they are giving another brand. So they are violating the right to choose. Fine, good. Next, since the ingredients of the products had not been mentioned, so ingredients are not mentioned, it's it. So what's the right they are violating here? Right to be informed. Good. Okay. Then label, the consumer inquired it from the businessman, but he ignored the request. Your request has been ignored. So what's the right? Very good. Heard. So here the answer is three rights are violated. Answer number two. Answer number two. 2016 second question, second A question. Okay, okay, wait. Q. So make Balana just underline and get the correct what right sir. So question number 2A. Question number 2A. What's the question? 2A. Okay, okay, fine. Thank you. Explain two advantages that can be gained by a businessman by ensuring the consumer rights. Just now we learned what is consumer right. So if a business is following those consumer rights, what's the advantage they get? My question. Do you need to write answers from the teacher's guide or it's like take the answers there for this question? Yeah, obviously practical. Why practical? Because guys, I said y'all, usually advantages, importance, disadvantages, we can write in your own words. Okay, so if you follow the consumer rights properly, as a business, what's the advantage you get? So you all say me the answer. If a business is following the consumer rights properly, what are the advantages they get? So don't worry, explain this up, we have to write a big one. No. A sentence is enough and you have to write only two sentences. Very good. You can earn the customer trust. So here the keyword is trust. So with that, you have to make a sentence. So how we can make a sentence? We can earn the consumer's trust. Okay, so here see the advantages. it will increase your sales and you can earn a high profit. Okay, so why they are writing a lengthy sentence, Balanna? They can write sales and high profit separately. But the question is explain Nisa, they are connecting both and writing one sentence. And also business can be free from selling fake products because they are following the consumer rights. So obviously they won't deceive the customers. Then it will decrease the consumer complaints and it will attract employees as well because employees will join because the company has a good name. Okay, so those are some answers. Apart from that, if you have any answers, you can write there. Okay, fine. So if I have skipped a question like that, please let me know. Uh, any other questions? No, in this paper, nothing. Okay, fill in the blanks. There is a question. While the taxes on tobacco and liquor are collected by which department? The taxes on tobacco and liquor usually are collected by which department? Very good. It's collected by the excise department. Because what's the tax they charge? What's the tax that is charged on tobacco and liquor? Excise duty. Okay, good. And the pay as you earn taxes are collected by which department? Pay as you earn means if you are working in a company and if you are an employee who are earning a salary more than how much you have to pay income tax? If you're earning more than how much of a monthly income you have to pay income tax? Very good. If you're earning more than 150,000, you are eligible to pay income tax. Not eligible, you are liable to pay income tax. So income taxes are connected by Inland Revenue Department. Inland Revenue Department. What's the other word we say for pay as you earn tax? What do we say for another word for pay as you earn? Very good. We say APIT Kiela. Okay, at present we say the word APIT. Good. So here the answer is excise and the second one is inland revenue. Next, good one. Question number 41. Write the relevant certification field of the following standards. We'll see. ISO 9001. What's the standard? ISO 9001 stands for very good. Quality. You have to write the full term. Management system. ISO 14001. Very good. Environmental management system. ISO 22000. Food safety. Okay. Food safety management system. ISO 26,000 social responsibility. Okay, social responsibility management system. Okay, so I have said you all, if you take the standards, when you had to memorize the standards, because today if you memorize, you'll start to forget. No, it's better to write the full term. Yeah, don't just write quality, environment, or write the full term. Yeah, just few days before the exam, memorize this and go because it's very difficult to keep these things in mind in numbers, everything confusing, right? So just 2 or 3 days before the exam, just memorize it and go. Okay. Next one. Uh, that's it from part one. We'll go for part two. In part two, there is a question. State four strategies that a government can use to attract foreign investment. Again, state Nisa, you have to write it short and sweet. HRI. So the strategies that a government can use to attract foreign investment. Okay, I don't want the scheme answer because this is a practical question where you can write your own answers. So you all say me some answers. What are the ways government can use to attract foreign investment? What are the strategies government can use to attract foreign investment? What do you all say? Yeah, by developing the infrastructure facility. That's a good one. Okay, when you develop the infrastructure, obviously, you can say foreigners will invest. Okay, then what are the other ways? Developing infrastructure then. So one is I'll take infrastructure. Okay, I'm going with your answers. I'm not relying on the scheme here. Okay, one is yes, infrastructure develop karana puluwan. Ita passive. Good international relations. If you have good international relations with other countries, foreigners can invest. Very good, Vaishali. We can say reducing the tax burden. Like income tax and if you reduce, yes, foreigners will be encouraged to invest. Any other answers? Any other answers? Stable stock market stable economy. Stable economy. Okay. Skilled workforce. Ek ganna bane skilled workforce. Somewhat okay, correct. We can take that. Okay. Providing tax incentives. So, ek we can take under tax, reducing tax. tax intensive. Very good, Sujira. We can take relaxation of what rules and regulations. So if the rules and regulations are flexible, yes, foreigners will be what encouraged to invest. Good one. So anyone you can write here. Okay, next. Ensuring consumer protection is an objective of government. If you are engaged in the production of bottled drinking water, okay, briefly explain two ways that you can contribute to fulfill this objective as a businessman. Right? So you are producing bottled drinking water, simply how you can fulfill the objective of consumer protection. So say me, if you are selling bottled drinking water, again a practical question. What are the ways you can fulfill consumer protection? Or what are the ways you can protect the consumer? That's it. Yes, maybe using filtered water. Use filtered and mineral water. That's a good one. Then, very good. Obtaining the SLS standards. So, guys, I am just writing the keywords. You can't just write like this because the question is not state. Okay, the question is briefly explained. So, you have to make a small sentence with this word. Maybe, yeah, you can take use standard plastic. That means a proper one. Standard plastic. Most important, you all forget me. What's the important thing they have to use? Disposable bottles. That is also somewhat okay, correct. Uh, create awareness and employees about consumer protection. Yes, that means you are educating your employees. That is also okay. Fulfill. No, no, no. The important stuff. Okay, guys. Are details label? Okay, you have to mention all the details. Ne? For example, the date, the expiry date, and also the what the issuing institute, the price, and all the stuff. Yeah. Okay. So make it include window. Ne? Okay. So again, a practical question. Next one. Write two differences between income tax and value added tax by comparing each other. So, can you know what's the structure of the answer we have to follow here? The question here is differences. So, differences means obviously we have to go with table. Ne? Okay, keep it up. Okay, so we had to go with the table format. Fine. So, we'll see here. Okay, so this is the table. So, they're asking all to write only two differences if I'm not wrong. So direct tax is about obviously income tax is direct tax. Direct means can you transfer this tax or can't you transfer? What you are saying? Direct tax se kapre transfer karna puluva? No, we can't transfer. Okay. The person is liable only must pay. Okay. So VAT is not like that. Indirect tax. That means what? You can transfer to another person. So usually VAT is imposed on businesses. But who pays the tax? But who pays the tax? The customers. Very good. And income tax is charged on your income. VAT is charged on goods and services. And income tax is incremental. When the income increases, the tax also increases. VAT is not like that. It's flat rate. Can I know what do you say for this type of tax rate? When the income is increasing, your tax rates are also increasing. What do we say? Very good. For this type, we say progressive KLA. What do you say for VAT then? Which is a flat rate. Whatever your income or whatever the price, the VAT rate is the same. Very good. We say proportional. Proportional. Good. And income taxes, some expenses can be exempted. That means, guys, when you're calculating a total income, some expenses you can minimize. Okay. VAT take not like that. Whatever the price of the good, you have to pay the percentage. Okay. You can't deduct your transportation cost. May mukut deduct karna ba. You have to pay the full amount. Yes, na can be avoided and cannot. Ekat ganna pulwa. So income tax cannot be avoided. Sorry, can be avoided. VAT take gattot cannot be avoided. And also another one, which is easy to collect by the government, income tax or VAT, which is easy for the government to collect, income tax or VAT. What do I say? Obviously VAT. Okay, VAT is very much easy for the government to collect. Why, sir? How? Because VAT is charged on goods and services name. Whenever you buy a good or a service, you automatically paying the VAT. Income tax is not like that. You have to pay income tax voluntarily. By on your own. You only have to calculate. Okay, after that only you have to pay the income tax. VAT is not like that. Okay, you don't calculate and all. Whenever you buy a good, you have to pay the tax directly. Okay, so VAT is very easy to collect, but income taxes it's very difficult because why? People only had to voluntarily pay, so it won't happen in an economy, obviously, right? Okay, so two differences, you'll get the 2 marks. Next question. Mention two ways that the increasing of bank loan interest rate affects a businessman who is engaged in real estate businesses. Fine. So they're asking all mention. That means no need to explain in depth. What are the things that will happen for a businessman who is doing a real estate? Real estate means what? Real estate means what? Selling. Okay, buying and selling the lands, right? The properties, fine. So what will be the impact on their business if bank loan interest are increasing? So what do you say? Will they have a positive impact or negative impact? Now the bank loan interest are increasing. They're asking two ways. Mostly they will have negative impact. Why negative impact? Can I know the reason? You are doing a buying and selling property. How bank loan interest increase? It can impact your business. Can anyone say me? You are a businessman who is doing buying and selling of land. Good, Fatima. Good one. Why? What may be the reason? How it can very good. First one, guys. Many of the people buy properties. Do you think they are buying on hot cash? Full amount in cash? Own cash? No. Okay. So many of the customers buy these properties because properties are partly expensive. So by using a bank loan also. So when the bank loan interest is high, customers won't prefer to take a loan. When they don't take a loan, they don't buy the land. So as an investor, as a real estate person, my sales will decrease. Why? People are not buying the loan. Not only that, there is another one also. Okay. So another one. Here you see increase in cost of capital, increasing operating cost of the business. That means what? Now see how they are coming to this point. Even a real estate person, what does he do? Buying and selling. He also buys a land from someone and sell it to someone. To buy also, he also needs some money. So do you think real estate businesses, they buy everything on their cash? No, they also buy on credit basis. So those buggers, those businessmen also need loan. When the bank loan interest is high, their cost of capital means, guys, their interest. Okay, their interest expense increases. You know, when interest increases, automatically your operating cost will also increase. Your operating cost of the business also starts to increase. Then how increase in profit and increase in investment? Is that correct here? Increase in profit and increase in investment? What they have mentioned, is that correct then? As a businessman, your interest cost is increasing because real estate people also, they also need bank loan to run their business. Ne? So when bank loan interest is high, obviously the interest expense increase. So the operating cost will increase. So increase in profit and increase in investment. Is that correct here? Wrong. Okay, make a gun a back. Okay, it should be decreased. Change it. Why? Because when your sales is decreasing, how your profit will increase? It's completely wrong, right? So it should be decrease, huh? Decrease. Okay, may change ka karan. Okay, clear that question? Is that question clear for you? Yes? Clear? Others? So make a change. Yeah, decrease in profit, decrease in investment kera liya na? Others clear enough? Yes? Okay, good, fine. Next one. So I think that's all from that paper. Ne? So 2017, that's all. Ne? 2017, that's it. Ne? Yeah. Okay, fine. If I missed any question, just let me know. Huh? Fine. Question number 5, 2018 paper. Following are some of the benefits gained through consumer protection. Fine. What are they asking here? Out of the above, which answer contains the benefits accruing only to a businessman? So through consumer protection, guys, three parties can get an advantage. One is the businessman, the other one is the own consumers, the third one is the economy. Okay, so these three individuals or the parties can get the advantage. Furthermore, they're asking only for businessmen. So first one, A, being able to consume goods equivalent to the value payment. Whose benefit is this? Whatever the price you pay, for that price you are getting an equal amount of satisfaction. That is for customer. Okay, so that is for customer. That is for customer. So we can't take A. A is wrong. Fine. Next, being able to gain consumer trust. Yeah, that is business. Ne? Ek ganna පුළුවන්. So when you protect consumers, consumers will trust your business. So obviously we can take B. Being able to minimize the product's promotion cost. Is that a benefit for the business? Yes. When you're protecting the customers, you don't need to promote much. Your customers itself will promote your what products to another person. So obviously that's a benefit for the business. Okay, now wait, hold on. First one is wrong, second one is wrong. Because in first and second, you have A. Fifth one also wrong. Why? Because you don't see B and C there. Okay. So answer should be either third one or fourth one. In third one, you have B, C, E. Fourth one, you have B, C, F. So B, B, C, C in common. So it should be the difference is either E or either F. E by being able to increase sales turnover. Is that an advantage for a business? Will your sales increase when you protect the customers? Yes, obviously. So the answer is the third one. F is wrong in being able to go against trade malpractices. Is that for a business? No, that is for a consumer. Ne? That is for a consumer. Okay, then being able to ensure the stands of the product, that is also for consumer. So your answer should be B, C, E, third one. Okay. Fine. Any other questions from this paper? Okay. Now fill in the blanks. Mm. Tax charged on incremental value of each step of manufacturing and distribution is. So what's the tax? The tax which is charged on each step of manufacturing and distribution, that is VAT. Value, but guys, don't just write VAT in your final exam, write the full term. Value added tax scale full word and that is VAT. Okay, that means each step of manufacturing and distribution means, guys, distribution. When you are selling, what's the tax they charge? Is obviously VAT. Okay, next one. And the tax charged on employee profits. Employer working as an employee in a company, that is paid. It's good. Okay, pay as you earn. That is pay tax, or you can write API, or you can go with API. But in the scheme, they have given pay because previously it was pay. Recently, only they have changed to API. So you have to know the family type. It is API. Okay, API means advanced personal income tax. Pay means pay as you earn. So pay tax pay as you earn. So that was the previously used one. Now they are using API, which is advanced personal income tax. Why they're saying advanced personal income tax means when you get the monthly salary, on that month itself your tax will be paid. Okay, fine. The rate of APIT. What's the rate of APIT? What's the rate of APIT? What's the rate of income tax? First of all, individual income tax starts from 6%. Eh? 6. What's the next percentage we have after 6? Okay, progressive. When they are, but when your income is increasing, the tax rate also increases. After 6, what's the next percentage we have? It should go 12, but in our country it's 18. Eh? Okay, 18. Then 24, 30, 36. What's the minimum amount of income you have to have? Monthly income got that. What's the minimum amount of monthly income you have to have? Okay, you have to have a monthly income of 150,000. Okay. Or if it is annual means, if it is annual means, yeah, annual means minimum you have to earn 1.8 million annual. Okay, so if you're earning more than 1.8 million only, you are liable for income tax. So you all know, usually for the first 1 million, they charge 600,000. Then for the 500,000, 500,000, 500,000. Then up to above that, all the amount, they charge you 36%. Okay, so that's how it goes. But in your exam, they won't ask you the calculations way and all. So they can ask you with a percentage on. Okay. Next, any other questions remaining? Good. State four responsibilities of the consumer. Fine. So guys, say me what's the acronym I have taught you all for responsibilities of the consumer. So we studied the rights. Now it's gonna be responsibilities. Very good, Leah. Very good, Fatima. Okay. අපි කියනවා cases කියලානේ. The acronym very good, Baduni. So we say cases case. Okay, cases. So what does C stands for? C stands for critical awareness. Okay, C stands for critical awareness. Good. Then A stands for action. Action, or else you can say participation. Participation. S stands for social concern. Social concern. E, environmental concern. Environmental concern or environmental awareness. Both okay. Last S stands for solidarity. Solidarity, we can say another word also for solidarity. What's the other word we can say for solidarity? Cooperation. Cooperation. So these are the consumer responsibility. As a consumer, these are the stuffs you have to do towards the business. Okay. So these are the 5. You can go with 4 here. Okay. Fine. So any other things remaining? No, that's all. Now we'll go for part two. Name for parties that can be affected. Name. You have to just name those parties that can be affected by imposing an import tax. Import tax means when you purchase from a foreign country, the tax is imposed on agriculture products. Here you are purchasing agriculture products from foreign country, so they are charging a tax on that. And write one advantage for each party from it. Okay, fine. So you all say me who are the parties engaged. Okay, who are the parties? And careful, they're asking you four parties and to write one advantage for them. So say me which party will get an advantage when government is imposing an import tax on agriculture product. What do you all say? First one, we can say the government itself. Government itself is earning, they are also getting an advantage. What's the advantage government is getting? What's the advantage government is getting? They're earning a revenue there. Yes, so see here, yes, government. Okay, one advantage is reduce international competition, and also they are earning a revenue. They are earning an income. And the most important part is the local producer. The local agriculture producer, they will be protected. When they are protected, their local competition, their local demand will start to increase. They can charge high prices and they can get more profit. One advantage. Local customer, what's the advantage they get? Okay, now local consumers, they can buy quality products because the products are produced in Sri Lanka itself. Fresh products. Okay, so that's another advantage a customer gets. Next, so the government we learned other local industry. Other local industry means guys, because of those local agriculture, think now there will be some distribution channels created because farmers they need to supply those vegetables to all over Sri Lanka. So new transportation, new logistics will be created. So because of those logistics, new job opportunities are created. People's income level will increase. Okay, then society. So what's the advantage society gets is maybe you can write we can utilize the local resources. Okay, we can utilize the what local resources, and obviously it will be a big boost for the GDP growth. Okay, so those are the parties and the advantages they again. But the most important is the first three parties here. They are the most important. Which scheme, dear? My scheme. Oh, which one you are saying, Fatima? I mean, which is shown here is not a ha ha ha. Is it so? I mean, you are scheming a Vijay Tunge killer. Yeah, but anyways, here it seems okay. Yeah? The parties and the advantages. Okay, we can go with them. Okay, fine. Next, question three. A government intervenes for conducting. So, guys, four parties, they will give you only 2 marks. Only if you're given one advantages for all four, you will get the other 2 marks. Huh? Next, a government intervenes for conducting the businesses successfully in various ways. Mention four such intervening methods and describe what a government expects from each method. Once again, for stating the method, 2 marks. What government expects for that, you get 2 marks. Okay. So what's the acronym for the ways government intervene in our business? They are wearing different masks and they are involving in a business. So yeah, very good. We can go with the acronym of secret. C. This is the acronym. So C stands for the first way they can intervene in a business is how? What does C stand for? Very good. Customer. Okay, customer. Then they can intervene as a competitor, then as a regulator, then infrastructure provider. P for P, policy maker. Good. Okay, policy maker. P, tax collecting agent. Okay, tax collecting agent. So these are the ways they can intervene in a business. And they're asking now what does government is expecting from each of those methods. Okay, fine. So first one, by being a infrastructure provider, what's the thing they're expecting? To increase the investment. When there are good infrastructure, obviously businesses will start to invest. Foreigners will invest. Government acting as a competitor. So if they are being a competitor for a local business, that private businesses they will provide a quality good to beat the competition. So quality goods will come out. Okay, then policy maker. If they are making policies only, business will do in an ethical and a proper way. If not, what will happen? The business will take their own decisions. No, there should be a proper framework, and there should be a proper guideline on how to do a business in a country. So that should be done by a government only. Next one, Regulator. Regulator means what? Simply to prevent all the types of frauds and unethical stuff. Because if government is not there, private sector will obviously misuse or mislead the customers. Okay then. By being a provider of incentive. So if they provide incentive only, what will happen, guys? The business will be motivated. Okay, more business will come out from the country. Local production will increase. Okay. And last one, being a tax collector. Through tax collector, what are they? I think there's a small error, ne? Me balanna. So this one is wrong, huh? Because make a hurry. By being a tax collector, government's revenue will increase and it will reduce the imbalance of income. That means what's the goal here they mentioned? Reduce the imbalance of income means what's the goal? That's a goal of a what government? Reducing the imbalance of income. Very good. Fair income distribution. Fair income distribution. Good. Okay, that's what they're trying to say. And to prevent entrance of unnecessary industry. Okay, yeah. So because of some taxes, some products are discouraged to produce. So what type of tax is that? There is a type of tax. Usually that tax is discouraging production of these products. What type of tax is that? Not income tax. No, it's for a product they have imposed. Because of that tax, some businesses are reluctant to do that business because they had to pay a large sum of tax to the government. Very good. That's the excise duty. Okay, that's the excise tax, excise duty. Okay, so excise tax is very high. So because of what excise tax is charged on alcohol and tobacco, ne, so which is something bad for the people. Ne. So why government is charging taxes? Not to earn revenue, just to discourage the what consumption from the people. And also to prevent others from starting that business. If there is no excise tax, means everyone will do that business. And for here, guys, provider of incentive, this one is wrong. Huh? Okay, because they have repeated the same answer. Make a Toyota Liana Pulwan. For this, you can write encourages local businesses. When government is charging less taxes, it will encourage local businesses. Okay, fine. So is that clear then? I think that's all from this paper. So you can see how they have properly made a structure of your answer, proper table like a kadala in that table in the way they have properly mentioned. So you all also can do like this. Okay, so there is nothing like this is for this question you have to draw a table. Put them in a proper arranged and a proper organized way. Yes, you can do that. Okay. So then writing in bullet points, see if you write in a table that looks something beautiful, right? Okay, because your scheme also should be what proper and neat. Okay. So guys, that's all from this paper. Any questions? No. As a customer, can you give the advantage? Huh? I know it. You itself will give. So say me as a customer. When government is acting as a customer for your business, what's the advantage you get as a business? Think I'm the government, you are the business. So I am acting as a customer from you. Okay, I'm purchasing goods and services from you. What will happen for you? What's the advantage you get as from a customer? Yeah, obviously your sales will increase. Okay, you're getting a stable market. Because do you think government comes and buy 1 kilogram anchor powder and go? No. Okay, we will buy in large quantities. So you're getting a stable market. And also, obviously, since I'm purchasing a large quantity, obviously your sales and profits will increase. So those are the advantages. Okay. Next, 2019 paper. Mm, okay. Question number 5. Following are some types of taxes in Sri Lanka. From the above, what is the option that contains only the types of direct taxes? Direct means you can't transfer to another person. You only must pay. Okay. So corporate tax, you have to say yes or no. What? Corporate tax, is it a direct tax? Corporate means the tax which is charged on companies. Okay, yeah, company only must pay. They can't charge, they can't transfer it to anyone. Can I know the percentage of corporate tax? What's the percentage of corporate tax in Sri Lanka? How much tax the company has to pay? They had to pay 30%. Okay, that is fixed. Huh? Next, NBT. So NBT is abolished. It's no more in practice in Sri Lanka. But while it was in practice, what type of tax? Direct or indirect? Yeah, it's a direct tax. Ne? Okay, where it was imposed to develop the nation after the war. Okay, fine. Value-added tax. That is no. That is indirect. So what's the percentage of that? What's the percentage of that we pay? 18%. Okay, 18%. Next, custom duty. Custom duty is indirect. Okay, you can't take that. That is charged when you buy goods from foreign countries. So there is no fixed percentage. It depends on the products you purchase. Next, excise duty, no, nothing. That is also indirect. And capital gain. Yeah. Okay. Can I know the percentage of capital gain? Capital gain means when you sell something and when you get a profit from that, you have to pay. So what's the percentage of capital gain tax? Okay. Three there. 10, 8, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so guys, if there are 2% for capital gain, there is something called a 10 percentage capital gain, another one is 30 percentage capital gain. So there are 2% for capital gain. Okay, so it depends on the type of asset you are selling. So if I am also not clear, so I think if you sell a property, you have to pay 10%. If you're selling a share, you have to pay 30% or something. I can't remember the type of asset, but there are two percentages. Okay. So here the answer is A, B, and F. A, B, and F. Second one is the answer. Okay. Next, question number 6. Which consumer right is violated? Good question. Violated when expiry date of a particular good is not mentioned. So can I know the answer? What's the consumer right that is violated when a consumer, when the expiry date of a good is not mentioned? Good dreamer. Good. Malavika. Fine. I don't know. Malavika wrong. Guys, it's the third one. Right to consumer education. Okay, sixth one answer is the third one. No, third one. Third one, ne? Third one is the answer, right? 6 3, yes. Right to consumer education. No, third one. Yes, the scheme says three, ne? Yeah, official scheme. Three. Is there another scheme? Scheme එක වැරදිද? It can't be. Why others? Okay, for the third time, I'm saying your alarm in theory also I said once in revision or revision again, twice I repeated. Okay, in the revision discussion as well as in the revision paper also. For the fourth time. Guys, expiry date of a product, you may think, sir, it's an information. Okay, so that information not mentioned means, guys, obviously they have not provided the information, so they are violating the right of what information is. No. Okay, so expiry date, yeah, it can be an information, but more than that, expiry date is giving some basic understanding or basic knowledge for the consumers to take decisions. Okay, to take decisions or to educate the customers. Expiry date is giving so much of information. Okay, so I'll say some examples for this right to consumer education. When you take a cigarette box, a cigarette pack, in a cigarette pack, they have mentioned the manufacture date, the expiry date, and the price and all. Okay, so that is a violation. If they have not mentioned that, that is a violation of right to be informed, because we need those to make a decision whether to buy this product or not. But in the same cigarette box, have you all seen in the front covering they have some labels or there are some pictures they are saying that smoking causes cancer, smoking kills cancer. Have you seen some pictures and all? Okay. So what are they trying to say? Will it impact your decision power or is it educating you? Is it impacting your decision making, purchasing decisions, or is it educating? It's educating you. Okay, so they are saying that if you buy this cigarette, it can cause some cancer. Okay, so here it's not impacting your decision making, it's impacting your knowledge. Okay, it's educating you. So likewise in a product, guys, if you take expiry date more than a source of information that is educating the consumers. So for example, you go for a food city, you are going for a Cargill or whatever, a supermarket, and you're buying milk packet. So when you buy the milk packet, when you see the expiry date is today. Today is gonna be expired. So what you can understand, this good is not for what consumption. It is not healthy for consumption. If I consume, obviously it can lead some disease or it can lead some unhealthy causes for me. So here, more than the decision, it is educating you. Better to be safe on this side. Or for example, for a party, you're gonna buy some sandwiches. Okay, you're gonna buy around like 10 loaves of sandwiches. Okay, and the party is gonna go like 2 or 3 days. So when you go for the food city, you see the loaf of bread, the expiry date is tomorrow. So we should not buy this. Why? If we buy, we can't use it for a long time because the bread will expire very quickly. So more than a source of information, it is more of educating the consumers on further decisions. Okay, so simply you can take a perfect example is the cigarette box. So in that smoking causes cancer, that is educating the consumers, be aware before you buy. Okay, so here the answer is the third one, right? Consumer education. Information is okay, but more than information, expiry date falls under consumer education. Okay, so is that okay then? Why third one is the answer? You can say this the fourth time we are saying this. If you have done the past papers, if you are thorough with that, you would know. Okay, then. But manufacture date, price, ingredients, those are informations. Okay, but expiry date, especially, it will fall under what? Education. Okay, next. Fill in the blanks. I think there is nothing. If I've skipped, just let me know. Huh? Okay. Part two. Part two, we have a plenty. 31B. Okay, okay, thank you. 31B. Okay, okay, thank you. Fine. Through the internal price stability, government can control blank and blank rate. So, internal price stability. Before that, there are two types of price stability. So, what are the two types of price stability we have, guys? What are two types of price stability we have? Very good. One is internal price stability. The other one is the external price stability. So through internal price stability, what are we trying to control? Through internal price stability, what are we trying to control? Very good, Daruchina. We are planning to control the inflation of our country. Through external price stability, what are we trying to control? Through external price stability, what are we trying to control? Through external price stability, forex. Okay, forex. So forex rate, the foreign exchange rates. Okay, so here now they're talking about internal price stability. So through internal price stability, we can control two things. We'll see what are two things is. One is inflation, obviously, that is correct. What's the other thing we can control? We'll see. What's the other thing we can control? We can control the inflation, and there's another most important monetary policy instrument. Through that, only the complete prices, the money supply is involved. Very good. Interest rate. Another small hint, they have given you the word rate also. So interest rate. Interest rate is the answer. Okay, that was a question from a student. Sir, by looking at price also. No, dear, more than price, expiry date is giving you education, it's giving you a knowledge. When they have made this product, okay, can we use it for a long period of time? Okay, or can we use it for today? So, is it a healthy product to consumption? So, for some price, milk packet and all, you can see like 2 or 3 days expiry. For some milk packet, like a months of expiry. So, it's educating you. Maybe in this milk packet, they have added some preservatives, or maybe they have added some chemical. By just with the price, can we measure those? Just with the price, we can say, can we use it for a long time? Is it healthy for consumption? Okay, have they added any chemicals there? No. Okay, so you can say expiry date is giving you so much of information compared to a simple price. Okay, so expiry date, it's better to go with consumer education. Okay, fine. Uh, uh, no, dear, it's better to go with inflation. Okay, so don't use the word money supply a lot. Okay, don't use that. It's better you go with the word inflation. Okay, Hari. Part two. State for services provided by SLSI for small and medium scale businesses. So they're asking about services which is provided by Sri Lanka Standard Institute for small and medium scale businesses. Okay, so state NISA, no need to explain in depth. So we'll some see the services which are provided by them. What are services they provide? Yeah. Okay, so here ability to obtain standard specification. They provide lab facilities, local and international product certificates, library and quality control, system certification, information service. So they have taken this from completely from the teacher's guide. Okay, so they have taken complete information service of last part. Fine, but one main service is missing. Because the question is, what are the services SLSI provides for small scale business? I have said you all, for a small scale business, what's the main service they provide? It was a fill in the blank question also. The recent revision paper 10 ke we discussed. Ah, very good, Omin. The advisory services, ne? Advisory or we say consultation services. That's the most important service they provide. Okay. Right. Next, describe two types of policy interest rates used by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka to implement the financial policies. Okay, so guys, what's the other word for financial policy? What's the other word we can say for financial policy? What's the other word we can say for financial policy? Another word for financial policy is what? Hello? Monetary policy. Another word for financial policy is monetary policy. So monetary policy, the main instrument is yes, interest rate. But you all know there are three interest rates. So what are the two main types of interest rate? They're asking you all to describe those a bit. What are the two main types? Very good. SLFR and SDFR. Ne? Okay, so they have not given SLF or SDFR. They are going with the word repurchase rate killer. So that means, guys, SLFR and SDFR. Okay, so but the interest rate charge when obtaining funds by securing the government securities. So here you're obtaining a loan from the central bank. So what do we say for that rate? When you obtain a loan as a bank, as a commercial bank, when you obtain a loan from central bank, they will charge you an interest. For that we say SLFR. Good. So when you deposit, ඒකට අපි කියනවා SDFR. So these are the two main policy interest rate. And the other interest rate you have is the bank rate. Bank rate means when you obtain loan from the central bank for emergency purposes. Maybe for temporary liquidity purpose. If there's any liquidity cash problems in your bank, you take a loan from the central bank. For that one, we say bank interest rate, that percentage is very high. And last one, even SRR also a type of rate number. You can put under that. Okay, but this is more of a economic question because in economics you study policy interest rates can SLFR, SDFR, and SRR. Okay, so statutory reserve ratio also we can take under what rates. Okay, so SRR means how much of percentage from the total deposit of the customers you have to keep with the central bank. Okay, so these are the four policy interest rate. Careful if they ask you in your exam policy interest rate, you can write these four. Okay, but today SLFR and SDFR is no more in practice. Instead of that, what's the rate they have introduced? They have combined both together and they have introduced one rate. Very good. We say OPR. Okay, OPR. Overnight policy rate. Overnight policy rate. Correct? Why? Because these are done in one day. Okay. Fine. Any other questions? Yeah, they do the same function of SDFR and SLFR. Same. Okay. Next, describe four objectives of Consumer Affairs Authority. Is this a practical question or a teacher's guide question? Practical, the teacher's guide. Guys, careful. This is a teacher's guide question. I know many would have written. Guys, careful. Objective is okama, you can't write a practical answer. Ekata, you have to write the direct answer from the teacher because objective came one of the goals of them. So it should be obviously fixed. Ne? Okay, so a consumer affairs authority, they have only four objectives. Can you say me those four objectives in the shortest way? What are the four objectives of a consumer affairs authority? First one. Yeah. Okay. One thing we can take is they will help you to seek redress. If anything goes wrong for the customers, they will help you to provide you compensation. Okay, fine. That is one. Correct. Then what are the other three objectives? Say me the keywords. Very good, Baduni. So we can say protecting the consumers from unfair practices. Good one. Then another one you can take is unhealthy products. Protecting the customers from unhealthy and hazardous products. That is correct. What's the last one? What's the last one? What's the last one? Ah, good. Okay. No. Not the availability. Access to goods and services. Access. Not consumer complaints. Access to goods and services. Access to product. The product should be easily available for the customers to reach. Okay. So these are the four main objectives. These are the keywords. Redress, unfair practices, unhealthy products, and access to products easily. Okay. Not availability. Availability ganna So these are the four goals. So here explain means you have to make a sentence out of this. Okay. Fine. So that's all from 2019. Any questions I missed? No? No, right? No, 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 right? Okay, fine. So now 2020 then. Question number 9. Send me the answer to question number 9. 5, 3. Others 4. Amen. Easy one, right? So can you explain OPR? OPR means same like SLF. Same definition, Thamai. Okay, OPR means same. SLFR and SDFR, they are saying OPR today. Okay, just a new name for that. That's it. Okay, there's no much complicated definition. In economics, you have to study like that. But in BS, now need. Okay, BS, okay, just it's like a replacement. SLFR, SDFR, a new rate only we say OPR. Okay, fine. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3. Okay, but you're gonna match up. So they are given you the monetary policy instruments used by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka and the descriptions related to them. Okay, fine. Now we'll try to match SDFR. So you all seen me the alphabet letter, but guys, here we have to be smart. If you want to save time and be smart, than reading the instrument, read the descriptions first. Fine. Buying and selling of government securities by the central bank on permanent or temporary basis. So what is that? Central bank is buying and selling securities, but that is OM, open market operation. So see, now you're saving time. Yes, so A, you can match with third one. Sorry, second one. This second one. Now second one. Here three. Fine. Next one. An interest rate imposed by the central bank in granting advances for achieving temporary liquidity purpose. I said if there's any cash problem, so what's the answer? You can just say me the number up, the Roman number. Bank interest rate. So that should be the fifth one, bank interest rate. Fine. Next, the interest rate charged by the central bank when commercial banks obtain funds by pledging the government securities. So you are taking a loan. What is that? SLFR. Just now we discussed. Then the amount of deposit that the commercial banks are required to maintain at the central bank from the deposit. From customers' deposit, you keep a small percentage. That is SRR. Good. And last one is obviously standing deposit facility rate. So here your answer should be then E, A, D, C, and B, right? Yeah. E, A, D, C, B, answer number 5. Answer number 5. For those who said 3 and 4, chutak balana. Why you all went wrong, Kela? Right? Okay. Next, fill in the blank. Fill in the blanks. Do we have any questions? Here. I think it's not labeled properly. You can say me the answer for this. To boost the revenue and to blank local industry, the government imposes blank on imports. So, what does government usually impose on imports? So you may think, sir, how you are saying, sir, it should be. What's the answer first of all? See, what does government impose on imports? Usually they're imposing taxes, or you can write tariff scale. Fine. Why you are saying taxes or tariffs? They can impose, they can provide what? Incentives also. If you import in our country, you'll get extra amount. Why you all went with taxes or tariffs? There should be a reason. There's a small hint. What's the hint? Perfect. To boost revenue, you have to see if government does this activity on import, government can earn a revenue through that. So how government earns revenue? Through imposing taxes. So that's why we went with taxes. So yes, when government imposes, it will increase the revenue. At the same time, what will happen to the local industry? It will be protected. So local industry will be protected. Okay, fine. To protect local industry. Next, the ISO blank standard is relevant for environmental management. So what's the standard? Environmental management 114,000. 14,001. Okay, then 9,001 is for quality management. 9,001 is for quality management. Okay. Um, any questions from here? No. No. Then part two. Part two also don't we have? Okay. Name for institutions established in Sri Lanka. Name for, no need to explain, which you can make complaints regarding trade malpractices. Okay. So no need the scheme. You all say me the answer. What are the organizations where we can lodge a complaint? Okay. If anything for a consumers, well, what's the main organization where we can go? Very good. Consumer Affairs Authority. That's the main organization where we can go and lodge a complaint. Fine. What are the other organizations we have? Very good. We can take Sri Lanka Standard Institute, and not SLS. It should be SLSI. SLS means a standard. So you have to add the word I also, but write in the full term on your exam. And any other places where we can go? No, no need to write the act number. They're not asking the act, Fatima. They're asking the institute. Balana, in the theory, I gave you a topic where act separately and institute separately. Yeah, very good. We can take Central Environmental Authority. Okay, ඒකත් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Yes, correct. Next. Yes, and Android user, correct. Divisional Secretariat Office. If it is anything connected to food, where we can lodge a complaint. Restaurants and all, food quality and all those stuff, where we can complain. We can complain the PHI, Public Health Inspector, or MOH, Medical Office of Health. Okay. Then TRCS, a good one. Telecommunication Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka. Anything problem with the telecommunication networks? Then another place for insurance and all. For insurance and all. There is an organization functioning to protect the consumer. Very good. Insurance Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka. IRCSL. Okay. Then you can take maybe there are two international organizations. What are two international organizations we have? Very good, Nifla. ඒකත් ගන්න පුළුවන්. So you can take measurements, units, and standards. You have UA, United Nations, who are simply blind today, and you can take what's the other organization? International Standard Organization. If you write that, you won't get marks. Why? If you write these two, you can't get marks. What's the reason? Very good, Omini. Because the question is Sri Lanka. They're asking local institutions. So don't write UN and ISO. Okay, fine. Next, briefly describe two trade malpractices committed by trader. Okay, maybe you can say your personal life, personal experience. So what are the malpractices which are done by traders, businesses in Sri Lanka? Malpractices means some bad activities. Maybe as food adulteration. That means they're adding some cheap quality products into the product, into your food. Yeah, maybe selling expired products. That is also correct. And bunking. What is bunking? Bunking means there's a word, right? In business studies. What do we say for that? Maybe you can take food adulteration. That is good. Okay, selling more than the what? Selling more than the market maximum retail price. Okay, which is MRP price. Bunking means hiding. Or we say holding the stock scale up. Holding the stocks. Okay, then any other malpractices they do? False information. That is good. Okay, false information. They provide false info. Ekat hari. Correct. Any other malpractices? Maybe inaccurate measurements. Inaccurate measurements. Yeah, unhealthy products. That is good. Unhealthy products. Okay, so those are some trade malpractices you can add on. Okay, but don't just write one word because the question is briefly explained. So make a small sentence out of that. Correct. Culturally inappropriate goods so promotion. That is also good. Now, so promotion which is not suitable for our country. Okay, maybe right? Some our culture is different, other foreign culture is different. Even if we take the dress code and all those stuff. Okay, so maybe we can take that as the answer. Next, yeah, can Fatima. But you had to write only phone, eh? Okay, fine. Question 5. Explain the way in which a rational consumer behaves in the market using 4 facts. So 4 mark answer. So fine. Rational consumer කියන්නේ කවුද? How does a rational consumer behave in a market itself? So who is a rational consumer කියන්නේ? Correct. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing your name correctly, dear. Magi, correct me? Rational consumer can name Monada. I want to answer for that. Rational consumer. What does a rational consumer means? Rational consumer. Are you all a rational consumer? Yes or no? Are you all a rational consumer? Not national, rational. Rational. Yes or no? Rational is not ordinary. Rational means a consumer with brain, with proper knowledge. Are you a rational consumer then? Some said no. Obviously, yes, yes or no. Others, if you have a brain, yes, you are a rational consumer. If you don't have a brain, because if you take animals, they have a brain, but they don't know how to use it. At least they have a brain. So that's a rational animal. Fine. Okay, fine. Yes, you all have a brain. So that's what rational means, where you think and take a decision. Irrational කියන්නේ අර Mongol කියලා will say track ක්ලාන්තේ කියලා. Where they don't know what to do, what to purchase, they just shout. Okay, so යාලා තමයි irrational, simply mentally unstable people like you all. Okay, rational means people with knowledge. Okay, people who can make proper decision. Okay, simple. When the price of a product increases, what you have to do? When the price of a product increases, what you have to do? You have to increase the demand or decrease the demand. Buy less. That is what rational කියන්නේ. If any idiot goes and buy more from that product, price increase වුණොත් අපි ගොඩාක් purchase කරනවා. If someone is doing that, එයා irrational. Okay, track කියලා අපි කියනවා. So here guys, as a rational consumer, what you have to do, how you have to behave in the market. Okay, one, expecting value for the money you spend. Yes. Whatever the price you spend, you need to have the equal satisfaction. You pay 1,500 for a kottu. In the kottu, you get only kottu without any vegetables or without any curry. The burger charge you 1,500. You didn't get the value for the money you spent. So as a rational consumer, you have to think, are you getting the value you spent? Okay. So careful. If you write this, you won't get the full mark. Question is explain and the answer is 4 mark. That means you write a small, like 2-line explanation. How? Okay, what did I say? Maybe you can write with an example. Next, you have to obtain a product with a good quality. Yes, whenever you buy, obviously you will buy a good quality product, right? You won't purchase a low quality product. Every consumer, rational consumer will purchase a quality product. Okay, fine. Next one. Correct, Rima. Okay, good one. Getting the satisfactory quantity for the price you pay. Okay, that is also fine. Next one, working against trade malpractices. For example, when you go for golf is, when you buy the soft drinks, they sell the soft drinks at a higher price compared to the MRP price. Yes or no? Have you noticed that? No? Yeah. Have you noticed? Yes. So usually they sell the product at a higher price. Have you gone and asked them? You are selling a product which is more than the MRP. Have you take any actions towards them? Any actions? No. Then are you rational? Are you rational then? Okay. That means you don't have a brain. Okay, guys. So if there's any trade malpractices, you have to take actions against it. If they're selling at a higher price, take actions. Oh, you're going in a bus. One stop, the bugger is asking you 150. Use your brain. It's a trade malpractice. Fine. Next one. Information relevant authorities about breaching of consumer rights. If your rights are violated, go and inform. You buy a laptop, you opening day, when you open, doom, blast. Okay? Product safety is not insured. So yes, you have to go for the relevant authority and file a case because the product safety is not insured. You buy a product, you go for a shop. Product baluat, the product's expiry date is what? Past. Consumer education is violated. Okay, so those are some stuff you have to think when you are behaving in a market, but don't just limit to here. You have to write a small explanation in your own words. Okay, so that's it from 2020 paper. That's all right from 2020 paper. Yes, miss me. Any questions I have missed? Oh, okay, fine. Next question. 2021. Do you have any Chapter 3 questions here. No worry. Uh, Fill in the blanks. Nothing. Ah, question number 41. State four ways how government support and direction for business would be important for a business. Question 36. Question 36. Thank you. The standing rate corridor of central bank consists of two rates. What are the two rates we have? What are two standing rate corridors? Yes. So first one should be what? Deposit or lending. First one should be deposit or lending. Deposit or lending. Anything. It can be anything. Deposit facility rate or lending facility rate. Okay, it can be anything. There is no order in that. Question 41. State four is how the government support and direction for business would be 37B. ISO blank is environmental management. Valanda guys, we have this is the sixth paper we are doing 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. In 6 years, they have tested ISO 14001. Okay, they have tested ISO 14001 almost 6 times. Okay, and food safety as well. So here 22,000 stands for food safety. So have a note. So even though there are so much of standards, you know for which standard you have to give the priority. Okay, so be smart there. Fine. Question 41. State four ways how the government support and direction for business would be important for a businessman. Okay, fine. So say me how government support for a business would be vital. Simply asking the advantages a business gets when the government gives a support. So what are the advantages? Okay, we'll see the scheme a bit. Okay, it's an easy question, Nisa. Okay, so fine. One advantage is yes, it will be motivating for a business to register. Okay, the business will be very much motivated to register. And good, it will increase the business knowledge. Public will accept your business. Okay, because this is backed by the government. So obviously public's trust will increase. Your motive, that means your simply the goodwill of the business obviously will start to increase, and it will assist you in finding business opportunities. If you want to enter the foreign market, no worries. Government is there to help you. If you want a loan, government is there to help you. So those are some advantages you get. Okay, practical answers, Lian. Part two. Part two. Part two, no questions, right? Part two questions, Mokut Nani. No. Fine. So that's all from 21 day. Fine. Now we'll go for 22. Do you all need a break? Dinishika understood my language. Ne? Dinishika, hemane? Hmm. Fine. Okay, now the time is 9:35. I'll start by 9:40. Okay, 5 minutes. Yeah, shall we start? But go and give this to Sachit. Go and give this to Sachit. Careful, it will fall down. It will fall down. Hold like this. Mm. Like this. Go, go. Go, give. Shall we start? Others ready? Yeah. Good. 2022, ne? Yeah. Hold on. What's the question? Question 9. A service that is not provided by the local government bodies in Sri Lanka. Okay. So, central government is there, provincial council, then we have the one local government. And here you have to connect two topics. One is the three levels of government. The other one is the intervening methods. So they're asking all which is not a service provided by a local government body. So fine. So what's the answer? Which is of the following is not a service provided by a local government body? No. Good, simple. It's the second one. Why? Financial policy can a monetary policy. Monetary policy is implemented by which level of government? Central, the provincial, the local authority, the it is imposed by the central government. Local bodies doesn't have any authorities in that. Municipal council, do they? You all think they are implementing monetary policy? No. Okay, so removal of garbage, environmental policies, collecting rate, building plans, yes, all those are done by government bodies. Now I'm asking a question. What are the ways they are doing this? The intervening method like infrastructure, policy makers. So say me, removal of garbage means what's the way they are intervening in the business, local government body? Can you all say me? What's the way they are intervening here? Yeah, Martune. Now difficult. Yeah. Removing garbage means what's the intervening method? Customer, the competitor, the regulator, the infrastructure provider, the policy maker, the what's the intervening method? Guys, removal garbage is infrastructure provider. Then implementation of environmental policies, which method of intervening? Environmental policies, which method of intervening? That is policy maker. Good. Okay, that is policy maker. Then collection of rates. Collection of rates. What's the method of intervening? Collection of rates. Tax collector. Okay, tax collector. Then approving building plans. Approving building plans, giving the permission to go ahead. That's not infrastructure. That is regulator. Regulator. So here the answer is the second one. Okay. So just not finding the correct answer. You have to learn from your mistakes also. Why are the answers are wrong? Okay, fine. Next. From the above, what is the group that contains only direct taxes? So production tax, is that direct? Yes or no? Yes or no? Product no. Okay, production tax is not direct tax. Next, corporate, yes. Usually income taxes are direct tax only, guys. Okay, advanced personal income tax, is that but direct? Profit? Yeah, obviously yes. Value added tax, no. Social security also no. Capital gain. Capital gain, is that an what direct tax? Yes. Okay, then withholding. Withholding tax, what do you all say? Withholding means, guys, it's like this. When you get an income, that organization, before paying you the income, they will deduct the tax only, pay the income. So what type of income they charge withholding tax? That's obviously a direct tax only. For what type of income they charge withholding tax? Before paying out you that income, they will charge you. They will take the tax and pay the remaining amount only. So what type of tax, what type of income they charge the withholding tax? Yeah, good. Okay. Usually incomes like, for example, rental income, especially bank interest. Just take your savings passbook and you'll see a tax called WHT, withholding tax. Before paying you the interest, they will deduct the tax and only they pay the interest. So for withholding tax, we say another word also currently. What's the present term we use for withholding tax? Okay, we say AIT. Good. Okay, we say AIT. AIT කියන්නේ advanced Personal income tax. Advanced personal income tax. Ah, not personal. Sorry. You can add the word P. Okay. If it is P means it should be APIT. So advanced income tax. Okay. So here the answer should be here the production tax means it's like sales tax. Okay. So that's not in Sri Lanka. So in other countries only they'll charge you production tax scale. So it's not in Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka for businesses, the main tax they have to charge on the goods and services is VAT only. Okay. From countries to country, the type of taxes are a bit different. For example, if you take India, in India they say a different word for VAT. Anyone knows that term? In India for VAT they say a different term. Anyone? When you see these Indian movies and all, you can see. Not EMI. EMI කියන්නේ installed. Okay, that's installment එක you pay interest එක තමයි EMI කියන්නේ. What do you say for VAT in India? They also charge taxes from the goods and services. Very good, Muhammad. අපි කියනවා GST කියලා. Goods and services taxes කියලා. So production tax කියලා මොකුත් නැහැ in Sri Lanka. Okay? So that's wrong here anyways. So your answer should be BCFG. BCFG means third one is the answer. Okay? Right. Next, from the above, what is the group that contains only quantitative monetary policy instrument? Quantitative means, guys, careful. Quantitative monetary policy instrument means what? Quantitative monetary policy instrument means what? It's not measurable. Very good. Here, quantitative monetary policy instrument means strong. These monetary policy instruments are part strong. They can control the monetary policy very much directly. So say me what? Say me the answer. So you all say me yes or no. Bank rate. Is it a quantitative? Is it quantitative? Yes. Bank rate. Interest rates are correct. That is very strong. Moral suasion? No. Open market, yes. So you can take this line up. SRR, yes. Margin requirement, refinance, they are used to control money supply, but they are that much strong. So it should be ACE. ACE means second one is the answer. ACE means second one is the answer. Okay. So is that clear then? Clear then? Clear, right? Okay, fine. So fill in the blanks. Okay, මොන හරි තියෙනවද? We'll see. Yeah. 26th. Okay, thank you. 26th. The following are some principles related to collection of revenue. Out of the above, select the option which contains only the principles relating to taxation. It's not your syllabus question. This is economics. So relating to taxation means, guys, when you impose a tax, okay, there are some principles you have to follow. Okay, for example, tax should be fair and it should be transparent. Transparent means where people can easily understand. Okay, so ඒ වගේම characters තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So there are some characters like that. So same here. What are the characters? Equity. So do you think taxes should be equity? The equity means fair enough. You have to charge high from high individuals. You have to charge a low percentage from low income earning individual. What do you all say? Yes, obviously equity must be there. Okay, then convenience තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Is it? I mean, taxes should be easier to collect that. Yes or no? Yes, okay, that is also correct. Is it should be certain. Certain කියන්නේ where you can easily understand, okay, in the future it will change. Okay, මොන හරි updates තියෙනවාද? Certainty තියෙන්න ඕනේද? What you say? Certainty තියෙන්න ඕනේද? Where my answer? Certainty තියෙන්න ඕනේද? Yes or no? Yes, no, it should be there. Where you can easily predict in the future will the taxes changes or not. If suddenly there's a future changes in taxes, as a business, it's very difficult to overcome that. Inseparable. Inseparability කියන්නේ that means you can't transfer the tax to another person. You only must be no. Okay, there are other taxes. For example, if you take direct taxes, inseparable, fine. There is another tax, indirect. Indirect means what? We can't give it to another person. So there are some taxes where we are only you had to pay. Okay, so direct and indirect both must be there in our country, obviously. Okay, so just being inseparable only not enough. So there should be separable taxes. Think about VAT, guys. Businesses, they should not pay VAT. Why? Because VAT is charged and who is enjoying the product. So business, even though they are selling, who is enjoying that? You buggers, the consumer. So obviously consumers only had to pay. So obviously the business had to separate the tax. They had to transfer that tax. So if it is inseparable means for business, it's unfair. So we can't take B. Well, and be smart. B is wrong. So first one is wrong, fourth one is wrong, third one is wrong. So answer should be either second one or fifth one. Okay, so in both you have you have C, you have E, you have F. Now the problem is A or D. Fine. So we'll go for D then. So if economy is correct, then D, quantifiability. What do you all say? Is that a feature of a tax? Is that a feature of a tax? Quantifiability. Quantifiability is not a feature. Okay. So just taxes should not be a number, should be a value for the consumers. Okay, it should be an ethical way. It's not only about numbers, it's not only about what taking money from the people. It should be fair enough. Okay. So here A seems correct, D seems wrong. Second one is the answer. What's the answer in the scheme? 2060. Question number 26 means yeah, second. Okay, okay, second one is the answer. Is that clear, guys? That question? Are you, is that question clear? Because there's a new type of question. Clear, ne? Okay. They will give open marks for why to give open marks? Why to give open marks? You have to find the answer. In business studies, there are some questions we have to think wisely and you have to get. Sometimes luck also plays a part. Okay, him of open marks mokut denne naha. Okay, it's not like a school term exams. Okay, in econ they give open marks. Is that so? In business, there is nothing, no questions where you get open marks and okay. So everything you have to strive hard to get. Fine. Question B, another confusing question. The resilience a country has to prevent insolvency is called what stability? Careful. Here they are saying it's a country we have to prevent insolvency, can be bankruptcy. We have to make sure our financial system should be stable. All the banks are working collaboratively. There is no any failures. So what is that stability? What is that stability? ඒක අපි කියනවා financial stability කියලා. Okay, for that we say financial. Whose objective is this? Financial stability. Whose objective is this? CBS. Next one. The ability to control inflation is what stability? Careful. Financial stability is a goal you studied in central bank. So the second one should be your goal also. So I said you'll fill in the blanks. You can go with a connection. Both the blanks has a connection to each other. Very good. Not economic stability. Economic stability means the GDP should have a positive growth. So what's the stability? Price stability. Price stability. Okay. Next question. Okay. State for responsibilities, guys. This question we did right. Make up karani. No, that's monetary. No, no, no. It should price stability because these two are the goals we learned under central bank. Okay, these two are not monetary. Wrong. You may think, sir, monetary is same like price. No, you have to go with the accurate words. Okay. So, guys, four responsibilities we did. Consumer responsibility. So the second time they have tested you. Okay, cases. Fine. Uh, uh, Next question, part two. So in part two, do you have any questions? Part two, mukut so that's it then. 48, 40. Okay, 40. Thank you. Administration of government department is mostly based on what code? Administration of government departments is based on. So government departments, so it's like code of ethics. All the ethics are in a written format. So if you take government departments, what's the code they follow? Is that establishment code? Government departments, they go with the code. Yes, that means the ethics which they had to follow if they are working in a government department. So is that establishment code? Same, man, because I didn't see the answers. Establishment code, written codes. 40A, 40 establishment. Aye. Okay, establishment. Ne? Okay, ඒකට අපි කියනවා establishment codes කියලා. So that is the ethic a government department officer must follow. And administration of their finance is mostly based on financial regulations. Okay, financial regulations. Fine. Did you all do this paper? මේ paper එක කරේ නැත්ද? Where's the answer? Silence means no. Didn't do? Say, I won't scold you all, man. Just say. That question didn't do. Okay, fine. And it's the way, but not okay, fine. But now understood the answer එක තේරුණානේ establishment and financial. Understood me? Okay, fine. Now, 2023. Select the option which does not indicate an objective of consumer fear. I have explained you the four objectives clearly. So say me which is not an objective here. Which is not an objective here. Don't disappoint. Betul. Okay, third one. I said access is a goal. Wide availability is not a goal. That's a function. Okay, answer is the third one. My answer is the third. Next, question 8. There's another question. Good. From the above, what is the option that contains only the government's goal? Okay, you all say me yes or no. Promoting work-life quality. Is that a government's goal? Work and your life should be balanced. No, that's not a government's goal. That is a business goal. Promoting industrialization. Is that a goal? Promoting industrialization, yes. Okay, that means promoting local businesses. Obviously, that's a goal. Okay, you know A is wrong. First time one is wrong, second one is wrong. B is correct. So you can eliminate the fifth one. So answer should be the third one or fourth one. In third also you have B, D, and F. So either should be G or E. So we'll see E first. Maintaining full employment. Is that a goal of a government? Yes, right. Obviously, that's a main goal. So G is correct. Answer is the fourth one. Answer is the fourth one. Okay. But we'll see the other one also. Creating products is not a goal of the business. That is a goal. So it's not a goal of government. That's a goal of business. Okay. Then redistributing income. Yes. Fair income is a goal of government. Maintaining full employment. Yes. Stable prices. Yes. Employee agreement is business. Corporate governance means the business should be doing in an ethical way. So that is also wrong. Okay, fine. Next, next, next question. Taking a fill in the blanks. Yeah, it's there. The statutory blank requirement is the portion. So what requirement? SRR. Statutory. What's that requirement? Reserve requirement. Good. So statutory reserve requirement is the proportion of your deposit liability that LCB should maintain as a what deposit with the central bank. Customers are giving you money. From the money you receive, you have to keep a small portion as reserve in the central bank. So what type of reserve? It should be a cash deposit. You have to keep because customers give you cash. So from their cash only, you have to keep some cash in the central bank. Okay, next. Central Sri Lankan government legislation sets out the blank policy, while the central bank sets out the blank policy. So government, what's the policy they implement? The central government, simply the finance ministry. What's the policy they implement? Very good. Fiscal policy, which talks about government's revenue and expenditure. What's the policy central bank implements? The central bank implements the monetary policy. The central bank implements the monetary policy. Okay, fine. Next, 46. Write the correct number of ISO against each of the management system. Good one. Quality. What's the ISO number? 9001. Good. Environment. 14,001. Balanda guys, these three are repeated all the time. Huh? Okay, then ISO food safety. 22,000. 22,000. Occupational health and safety. That's a new standard they have introduced. Okay, it was a replacement. It was a modification of a previous standard. So what's the standard number? Good. Okay, that is 45,000. 45,000, 45,000, 46,000. So 450 is energy management. 42 is AI or something. 45 or 46? 45, 45 or 46? Go man, I'm not trusting your answers now. 45, 46. 45. Okay. 45, 45. Ne? Okay. So earlier it was called as just OHSAS. Now that is converted into an ISO standard, which is 45,000. Thank you. Next. Uh, any other things remaining? Part two. Do we have any part two questions? No. So that's it then from 23 people. That's it, or did I skip any questions? 46, 46, 46. 46 or 45? Hold on. I 45, yeah. 45. Okay. 46, 45. Okay, fine. Next question. Okay, 2024 people. Uh okay. Next one. Okay, question 7. So they have given you the income sources and the authority. But rates. Rates means I said you they'll evaluate your value of the property and they'll charge you a tax. So rates are charged by which authority? Same with the alphabet, that's enough. Rates D, ne? Local authority. Good. Tariffs. Tariffs means taxes, but these taxes are connected to international trade. So tariffs will fall on customs. It's Sri Lanka customs. Okay. Okay, then next one. Then fourth answer. That is chapter 4 in India. Okay. Next, APIT. Got. Now I got Vaishali. What you wanted to say? Good, smart, huh? APIT, advanced personal income tax. So usually income taxes are done by Inland Revenue Department. Emission test charges for vehicles and all they do. Department of Motor Traffic, ne? So visa fee, obviously Department of Immigration. But guys, you can be more smarter here. How? Anyone? One student say you can be more smart here. How? Anyone? We can be more smart here. How? Very good. First one being a, only one option has D as the first one. So answer is fourth one. There. But don't just underline and go. You just cross check it. So you can see second one is E. Yeah. Third one B is okay. So answer is the fourth one there. Any other questions? Fill in the blanks. Yes. Monetary policy manages the money supply and where did that question go? Okay. Monetary policy manages the money supply and what? What are they mostly what is managed? And the interest rate. Good. Okay, careful. Money supply and interest rate goes hand in hand up. While fiscal policy manages the government spending and what income? What income? Government spending and what income? Yeah, government income. Government income. Okay. Next, the tax charge on the total sales revenue of a business is called as what type of tax? Make it should be controversial. Okay, the total tax charge on the total sales revenue. So what do you say for this type of tax? Careful, these are corporate taxes are charged on the profits of the business. Okay, here they are saying sales. So usually sales, okay, careful guys. Not all the businesses have to pay this type of tax. Only business which has more than 50 million of revenue had to pay this tax. I think 0.5%. So what do you say? Make it up again. Turnover tax කියලා. Or we say sales tax. So this is not for all the companies. Only large scale companies had to pay this tax. Okay, then the amount deducted by a bank from an individual's interest income. Now only I say it. Withholding tax. Good. Okay, withholding tax. Fine. Next, a partnership agreement could be either in verbal or implied form. So what's the main thing they have missed? Sorry. That's chapter number 4. Ne? Okay, sorry. Then no questions here. Do we have a part 2 question? Yeah, there is a part 2 question. According to the food regulation of 2005 in Sri Lanka, name for mandatory information that should be stated on a food package. Okay, practical question. So say me some information that should be mentioned on a food package. Yes, we can take ingredients. Then we can take okay, manufacture date. Then expiry date, correct. Then ingredients, manufacture date, expiry date, price, good. Then any other things? The weight, okay, that's correct. Weight. Yeah, manufactured country. And more importantly, manufacturing organization, what's the name? And batch number, good one. Batch number. And the standard SL is the ISO, the good one. Okay. So those are some information which should be mentioned. Good. So any other questions? Uh, no, right? So that's it then from 2024. Is that all? Yeah. Okay. Next 2025 paper. That is 2025 paper. Okay. So, but this paper, I think there was a tricky question. Just went across that. Uh, chapter here. The VAT for convenience good is ultimately paid by who? Who pays the VAT? The VAT is paid by the consumers. Asle. So answer is the third one. Next, how does an increase in SRR make it up my practical question? I'm going to think a lot. When the SRR increases, what will happen to the lending capacity of commercial bank? First of all, say me what will happen to the lending when central bank is asking you to keep more and more reserves from the deposits of people. What will happen to your capability of giving loans? Obviously, it will reduce. Okay, from people's money only you give loans. But if central bank is asking more percentage, you don't have money to give loans there. So obviously your lending capacity would decrease. Good, good. So either it should be first one or the fourth one. Now borrowing cost. Borrowing cost can get interest rate. So what you will do with the interest rate for businesses? Think for that means if commercial bank does something with the interest rate, obviously business will have an impact. Now think for a business, will it be difficult to get a loan or will they get the loan very easily? What you are saying? Will it be difficult for them to get a loan or can they get the loan easily? It will be very difficult for them. Why? Already the commercial bank's loan lending capacity is very low. So now to get a loan, it will be very high. So now say me, if it is very difficult to obtain a loan, only for limited people banks can give loan means, will bank charge a high interest or a low interest? Definitely high interest. It's like a product you sell. Loan is like a good you sell. So there is only limited good means obviously as a bank you will charge a high price because why? There is a high demand in the market. So definitely will be charging a high price. So here the borrowing cost would increase. Answer number one. Okay. Answer number one. Uh, any other questions? Fill in the blanks. Yeah. The value added tax standard rate in Sri Lanka is 18%. Whereas the maximum, careful, the maximum appet you had to pay. What's the maximum appet rate we had to pay? What's the maximum appet rate we had to pay? Advanced personal income tax. I say it goes in multiples of 6. What's the maximum percentage I said, John? Not 30%. That is 36%. 36 is the maximum rate. Okay. Then any other questions in a part one? All right. Third one. 39. 39. Okay. Thank you. 39. Once again, the same. Environmental management 14,000. Now only a difficult one. Energy management, what's the standard? Energy management, what's the standard number? ISO 50,000. Good. Okay. Not 46,000. It's 50,000 one. Okay. Fine. Next, short answer. Part 2 questions. Monahari Tinawada. Part 2 also no questions. Ne? Third one. Third one. Where? Third one. Third one. Third one. Third one. Third one. Okay. Provide true reasons why price stability of an economy is important for a business. Okay, practical question. So say me why in our country price of all the goods and services should be stable. AKA it should not increase drastically or decrease drastically. There should be a stability in the price. Why? You all say me think you are doing a business. Why there should be a stability in the price of goods and services? That means, guys, that means what are they trying to say here? Price stability means what? Price stability can monad. Price stability means what's the government is gonna control here. Prices should be stable. It should not go high and go low. Very good. They are going to control the inflation. If a country is controlling the inflation, what's the benefit a business gets? Yes, one student said we can ensure the survival. The business can survive in the market for a long time. Okay, yes, good one, Hibatul. The purchasing power of the consumers will be maintained. Still, people will have the equal income to buy goods and services. Yeah, good, correct. You can maintain potential output. Potential means you would have a plant, there will be a capacity you can produce. Now, same prices means, yes, you can produce in the same level of output. You don't need to decrease your production. So then any other things, maybe you can expand the businesses. Okay, you can expand the production or you can expand the business. These are some advantages. Clear? Clear enough? Yes. Others clear enough then? Yes. So that's it then. Either. Okay. Fine. So guys, that's it then for today. Next week, as I said, we'll do unit number 4. Before that, please do a small recap on unit number 3 and try. Okay. So by then, good night. God bless you all. Welcome. Welcome. Bye. 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 Walaikum salam. Welcome. Bye. Bye. Barakallah. Bye.